Hi everybody, welcome to my homestead and welcome to my hot tub, our inflatable hot tub that we have out on the front porch overlooking the pasture. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like this video if you end up liking it, hit the notification bell, and make sure to leave comments and leave your opinion. So yeah, I haven't been feeling that great today because I got the shot yesterday, the second shot. The one that we got, it was at Walmart, and it was the Moderna shot. So everyone was saying that you know, I was gonna be like tired all day and it was really rough, and you know, that's somewhat true. I've kind of been out of energy a little bit. It feels like all day I've kind of been on the verge of having a headache, but and you know, and I took some Tylenol. I also took some ibuprofen because I've been feeling sore. But it hasn't really been that bad. I haven't like had to stay in bed all day, but I did feel like getting in the hot tub and just kind of relaxing. Hopefully you watched my last video about the first presidency message to church leaders about wearing masks in the temple, and you know, I'm glad that they put that out. Not that I really agree with wearing masks or anything like that, but I'm glad that they clarified the reason why they're pushing for the vaccine and wearing masks and all that stuff. The main focus is to keep the temples open, and that's fine. I'll do it, you know. If you're familiar with my channel, I have not been for the vaccine or any of that stuff, not at all. In fact, I think it's a bad thing. But you know, the first time I saw President Nelson post it on his Facebook account of him getting the vaccine, that was like my first kind of like, are we supposed to do that? Is he like trying to get us to do that? And then I just kind of like ignored it. And then they put out the first presidency message that they emailed to everybody, and then that one kind of got me upset, and I didn't feel comfortable with it. And I was watching all these other YouTube channels, see what they thought, and I prayed about it, and ended up realizing that, you know, the prophet's not going to misguide us. I'm not aware of any time that a prophet has given advice to the church and it was wrong, you know. And again, they didn't put that message out lightly. They knew that people would be against it, and some of them may even be against it, but they also know, I'm sure, that the second coming is really close, and maybe it's not even going to be an issue. And sorry, you know, for those that have already heard my opinion on this, this is repetitive, but if you're new, that's just how I feel, that we can trust the prophet, and there's a very good chance that within our lifetimes we're going to be translated or caught up, and it's probably going to fix whatever bad this vaccine may do to our bodies. I feel like there's a lot of really compelling evidence to say that we are near the second coming in certain events, like the quickening event. If you watch my video I just did a few videos ago, it was, at the time, it was Elder Nelson. He was talking to BYU Hawaii, and the name of the talk is True Millennials, talking about the millennial generation, or it's also known as Generation Y, because you have Generation X and then Y and then Z, and then after that you have the Generation Alpha, I guess is what they're calling it. But in that talk, he just like flat out basically says that the millennial generation really actually, in a literal sense, is going to be the generation that ushers in the second coming and live during the millennial reign. You know, when our general authorities, especially our apostles and the prophet, talk like that, I'm going to listen. I know that they're inspired. I know that they know things. They may know when certain events are going to happen. You know, a lot of people will be like, well, no one knows the day or the hour. But when you continue to read those scriptures, it'll say that for the wicked, the second coming is going to come as a shock. It's going to come as a thief in the night. But for the children of light who have been instructed to watch for the signs of the times, it's not going to come as a thief in the night. We're going to know. You know, we're going to know the season. And I don't think that we've ever been so close, or that it's been so obvious as it is right now. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing this channel, is to hopefully help you watch for the signs of the times along with me, and just watch these incredible events as they're unfolding. Sorry, I just want to show you my that's my Jersey heifer right there. Her name is Daisy, and it looks like to the right, that's Jack. He's the bull. We're wanting to breed the two of them so that we can get milk from her. And supposedly Jersey milk is really good. It has like a higher concentration of fat in it. And then that dark spot right there, that's one of our meat cows. She's actually still just a calf. She's a bottle calf. So we feed her. Oh, it looks like both of them are right there. They're together. We have two Angus Hereford crosses, and they're both heifers. So I'm excited for that. We're probably going to have one of them processed next year, and then the other one the year after that. Next year we need to get a freezer so we can store all that meat. You can see some of my chickens over there. Here's our turkey, Elaine. Sorry, the video quality is not the best, I know. But I love having this hot tub right here where we can just watch our animals and have shade, you know. It's a pretty good setup. I know it's kind of redneck and whatever, but we live in Kansas. I don't live in Utah anymore, and I think it's good anyway. Regardless of where you live, this is just like a really cool setup. I really like this house. The house itself is pretty cheap. We're on like a 2-acre property, so we have plenty of room to have cows. We have a garden, which isn't doing so well because we've been lazy with it. And you know, we got our chickens, and it's enough room for a family farm. And that's all we're doing. It's just a little family homestead, just so that we can raise some of our own food and give our kids this experience of, you know, living in a small town in a rural area and taking care of animals. It's really good. I would highly recommend it, especially if you've already been thinking about it. The prices over here in the Midwest are so low compared to the West. I can't speak for the East, but this area, Kansas, especially Missouri, there's like a ton of places in Missouri that are really cheap, and you can get so much land. It's unbelievable. Oh, my wife is here with us now. Do you want me to put you on the screen? Yeah, come on.
Hi. So I know a big concern about living in the Midwest or in rural areas is about finding jobs. But I can't tell you how many places I've seen lately where they're hiring. So, and not bad, like a gas station for just a regular employee, not a manager or anything. It was hiring at $10 an hour. There are jobs out here, so don't fret about not being able to find anything.
Yeah. Now, of course, like, working at a gas station probably won't do it for you, or it could. But if you have a job where you work online, like I do, I mean, that's what made it so that we were able to do this. We're originally from Utah. Then we moved down to Arizona, to Phoenix. And if you know the Phoenix area, we lived in Surprise. We were just kind of living with her parents as I was trying to get into my career as an aircraft dispatcher. And as time went by, I wasn't able to find a job that I wanted to take, so I joined the Army, and then I was stationed, I was active duty, and then we were stationed at Fort Hood, and I just did one enlistment, and then we went back to Arizona. But this time we rented a nice house in Goodyear, in just like a, you know, one of your typical kind of like HOA type neighborhoods. And you know, it was a nice big house, and we had a good time there. But then we started thinking about homesteading, and started looking around at Arizona, and it is super, super expensive. And we looked around at Utah and whatever, just all these different places. And then we started looking at Texas, and then after that Missouri, and then Kansas, and then we found this place. And boy, I am sure glad that we moved here, because for me, I'm living my dream life, honestly. I could never have imagined having this much land and owning cows and chickens and having a stream on my property and a big old garden. It's just like, it's amazing. It really is. And I love Kansas. You know, I miss Utah and Salt Lake a lot. I'm originally from Murray, which is a suburb of Salt Lake. And you know, the last time I went there, the whole Salt Lake Valley is just like so much more urbanized than what it was before. It's like hardly even recognizable. Whenever we go to Wichita reminds me of the Salt Lake from, you know, like the 80s and maybe the early 90s. It's a lot smaller and just not crazy like Salt Lake is now. My great-grandparents, like when I was born, I was actually, my first home was on my great-grandparents' homestead. My grandpa, I think he was a farmer. I don't know exactly what he farmed, but they had a bunch of animals. And anyway, later he passed away, and then my great-grandma moved to a trailer park, and I guess somebody ended up buying the land. And the last I checked, they like divided it all up, and there's all these houses on it now. It's not a farm anymore. It's over in like the Taylorsville, Benyon area, kind of between Murray and Taylorsville, if you're familiar with that area. It's so sad. It's so sad. But now we live somewhere where I highly, highly doubt that this will ever become a big city. We're pretty far outside of Wichita, and this is probably always going to remain a small town. And if it gets too big, then we'll just move. I've actually been kind of wanting to move out to the country so that we can have more privacy and maybe have some more land, less restrictions on things. I love this property. I feel like the Lord has blessed us with this place, but it would be nice to actually be out in the country and maybe have some more buildings and, you know, have a well and stuff, just stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if this is going to be our forever home. I wouldn't be sad if it was, because we're really comfortable here. So I don't know. And I guess a lot of that depends on the second coming and whenever that occurs. You know, whenever we're caught up or quickened, I don't know if like we're actually going to go somewhere and then not come back until Christ comes down in the cloud. There's people that believe that we're not going to get caught up until he's actually coming down, like we're going to be caught up and then join him in the cloud and then come down to Jerusalem. I don't know. I'm trying to learn all these things. I'm trying to do my own study. I know that there's a lot of different theories out there, but I need to do my own study and come to my own conclusion. I feel like it makes more sense that we would be caught up either before the 7-year tribulation period or maybe halfway through. Just because I've read scriptures where it says that, you know, we're meant to escape the tribulation. We're meant to escape the punishments of God. And it seems to imply that the way that we would do that is being caught up and translated and possibly literally taken away from where we are right now. But I don't know. What I do know is that the general authorities have included in like the footnotes to their talk about being caught up and being translated. I think that's actually on the horizon. You know, I've done some videos about that. You can go back and see for yourself, and I'm sure that I'll do some more. But I really think that that's going to happen in our lifetime. But what remains unclear to me is like what it's actually going to look like. But, you know, stick with me. I'll do as much research as I can, and I'll share with you what I find out. And if you have any other sources, I appreciate it, like when you give your opinion, but I would, it's even more helpful if you drop a source so I can like go see it for myself, and then, you know, I'll put it in videos, because I don't think I know everything, and I don't think that I'm able to find out everything. I think a lot of it's kind of a group effort, and we're all in this together. So, and then at the end of the day, even with all of our research, we may not be able to come up with exactly what's going to happen, and that's okay. It's not a big deal. So anyway, we're just in a really exciting time right now. We've already seen so many things happen, even just like from the turn of the millennium, right? It's like almost immediately we were just thrown into action. First with those dedications of the Palmyra Temple and the Nauvoo Temple, and how special those were, and how unprecedented they were, right? As far as I know, there's never been a church-wide Hosanna shout like that. That was like all around the world. So that got things off to a very interesting start. And then of course in 2001 we had 9/11 that happened, and that changed the world forever. And it just blows my mind that I saw that happen when I was in high school, and then later, just several years ago, I was actually in that war in Afghanistan. Like, it was really surreal that, you know, in my I can't remember how old I was at the time. I must have been late 30s or sorry, early 30s, late 20s. I can't remember exactly when I went to Afghanistan. And it was just, I couldn't believe it. It was really surreal. And then now, seeing us leave Afghanistan, I've actually thought about doing a video about that. I know that America more or less has always been at a state of war, and there hasn't been peace for any like really prolonged period of time. And I want to do a video about America's wars, because now that we're out of Afghanistan and we're pretty much out of, and we're, you know, Iraq finished a long time ago. I know that there's like still some presence there, I believe, but now that those two wars are officially done, it makes me wonder if it was intentional that it ended this year, because I believe that there are schemers in this world that coordinate their efforts with other powerful people for ulterior motives and other agendas. And I wouldn't be surprised if America, after a year or two, finds itself in another war. And we know that things are heating up in the Middle East with Israel and Iran. Is that going to be the next war? I don't know. But I have the feeling that we're going to be entering into another war within the next few years. That's not necessarily based on anything concrete. That's just how I feel. Let me know what you think. Everyone was kind of, you know, puzzled by why we did it this year, and why it happened the way it did. And it doesn't really surprise me. I know it doesn't surprise a lot of people, but some people are surprised by it. And I think there's a reason for that. I think we're getting ready to go into the next phase of their plan. Nice, honey.
Oh, it's in the video?
Yes. That's what my wife's foot looks like, everyone. You know, gosh, and then, sorry, going back to like everything that I can just think of off the top of my head that's happened this century. So we had Hurricane Katrina, that was a big disaster. We had that huge tsunami in, I was on my mission at the time. I believe it was in the Philippines, or maybe it was, no, I think it was Indonesia. Well, actually both of those happened at the same time. Or like, well, around the same time when I was on my mission. And then we had that huge tsunami that hit Japan. I think that was in 2011. Gosh, what other things have happened? I'm drawing a blank. I know that there's been a ton of things that have happened. YouTube. YouTube at the beginning of the century, I don't think it even existed. I don't know what year it started, but I don't think it really started to get big until around like 2012, maybe? Like, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. We had Obama become president, and I know a lot of people have not so great of feelings about him, and neither do I. And I think that he's still a power player behind the scenes. He seems to be anyway. He just had a birthday party. I don't know if you're aware, but he just turned 66. And so for his birthday party, he's like doing like a fundraiser for like some kind of presidential something or another with his name on it. And you could either donate $600, $60, or $6. Or you can do all three and then donate $666. Right? Oh, but Brother Davies, it's just because he was turning 66. No. No. I really have some pretty bad feelings about him. But anyway, we had Obama, we had Trump, and of course, a lot of people have pointed it out. I've pointed it out in my videos, just how his name is Trump, which makes you think of a trumpet. It makes you think of a shofar, which is a ram's horn, or you think of the trumpet blown by Angel Moroni, right? That's actually another type of trumpet that's blown in the temple. I did a video about that. And then you had his vice president, Pence, so Trump Pence, right? The Angel Moroni dropping his trumpet in 2020 as the pandemic was starting. All the temples closing, and then missionary work coming to a halt, more or less. I know that it's like still been going on, but it's taken a nosedive. This year was the hottest summer on record. My gosh, there's just been so many things. Like, and I know that I'm not even like scratching the surface. There's like a lot of things that have happened that I haven't included in this. But anyway, I don't know about you, but I do feel like we are in that season. The season of the last harvest and the last part of the last harvest and Christ returning. And just watch all my videos if you're new to the channel, or if you haven't seen what I've done so far. Hopefully I give you plenty of reason to believe that that's right, that the second coming is close. I feel like I have plenty of evidence. All my videos, I always put my sources down in the description box. So you can go see for yourself. And it just feels like more and more stuff happens all the time. Like every day there's a new thing, and it's been like that for a while. So anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I just wanted to just kind of do this video, relax, talk a little bit with you guys. But yeah, I'll be doing some more videos. Try and do at least like 1 or 2 a day, and hopefully I'll come up with some good stuff, and we can all learn together as we watch for these signs of the times. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like this video if you like it, hit the notification bell, make sure to leave your comments, and I'll talk to you later.